Welcome back, everybody. Bloodlust Night back again, this time with the World of Warships video, explaining about update 12.4, as was just announced, about what's coming up, and then it's going to be this week on Wednesday. So be prepared for that. From the installation will come from 3 a.m. on Wednesday, May 24th, Pacific time, until 6 a.m. Pacific time. So at least 3 hours it'll be down just to get the upload going. Now, hopefully they'll do a pre-download that they usually do, which ends up being a little earlier, and it does help streamline the update, so you don't have to wait for a full 3 hours. But the servers will be down for 3 hours, at least until everything is implemented and incorporated into the game. Now, I don't know how it is for the difference between North American and European servers. On tanks, North America gets theirs first. They always get theirs a day early, and then European servers get it right after. For ships, I don't know if it's the same thing on ships or it just goes through in timeline. I believe it's normally in timeline because I've seen other CCs that are in Europe and Australia where they get theirs first. So it's just literally the day of, no difference in between them. But with this, there's a whole lot of things coming in 12.4. Here's a video. I don't even intend to watch the video. I normally don't. I get more detail out of just reading this. So with it, let's just see what they're actually going to incorporate in 12.4. As you can see, this looks like a brand new ship, which it in turn is. So, first things first is the one they're announcing, the European destroyers in early access. Okay, so we're getting a whole new tech line right after. I mean, they're just coming out with tech tree line. They're coming out with lines just consistently. Pan Americans were just done. They're coming out finally. This will explain later in this. They're coming out. Now we're getting another one instantly? Like, holy hell, Wargaming, slow down. You need to fix your game first before you release new ships. And since the CV, just slow down. Slow down, fix your game. If you haven't noticed, I have a huge beef with early access stuff, and that'll be a different video explaining what my beef is. So without going off track and going everything, let's just stick to what it says. So European destroyers in early access. With it, we're going to get a whole new branch from tier 5 through 10 of European. So there's now going to be another line offset with it. Starting at tier 5, the Malvinet. Forgive me if I mispronounce these. I most likely will mispronounce it. I've been mispronouncing, how does it, Kaiduin, as it's called? When I called it the Kijduin. I keep mispronouncing it. So forgive me for mispronouncing this, but the Malvinet, Stored, Grom, Split, El Katsonis, and Dansk. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Dansk. I don't know. Forgive me. Please let me know down in the comments how it's pronounced to correct it. Forgive me for mispronouncing it, if I did. Or let me know if I did get it correct. But those are the 6 new ships coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6 new ships. Now, the interesting thing about how to get these, which I will tell you this, do not go for this. Don't go for this or that. Just don't waste your money on it. Don't give them your money on it. Tell them to stop this. But, again, that'll be a different video. So now, how do you get these early access? Well, for the first 3, Malvinet, Sword, and Grom, they're available in sequential bundles for European tokens. So just like the chain purchases that you always see. Now, the only thing is here, it's like, oh, is this just simply going to be these 3? No, they're going to throw in a whole bunch of random stuff in the way. They always are. And right after the Grom is going to be the tier 8 camo. So it's going to be one of these camos. So considering these 3, only these 3, which is the final 3, Split, Katsonis, and Dansk, are going to have that camo, which by and large looks freaking awesome. That's a really beautiful color scheme. But they're going to lock it behind a $200 paywall. Guarantee you. Now, those are the only 3 you get through European tokens, which I'm pretty sure normally how it is, if you count how much you get through combat missions, you'll get those for free. We'll see how that is on Wednesday when I come on. I might stream again for you guys here later. I'm doing night shifts right now. But here coming up, most likely you're going to get these 3 for free. So that's at least a good thing, so you don't have to worry about that. Split, on the other hand, is something they did differently. So now there's going to be another premium battle pass starting this week as well. And the very end is Split. Now, it's not going to be like, oh, if you complete it for free, you get it. No, you're going to have to pay the premium access for it. And then at the very end, it's right at the bottom. So you have to pay premium Battle Pass to get the split. A whole different take on Battle Pass. I've already done a video on that. If you want to take on it, just watch that video. I have a take on that, which won't be too bad, but at least you get the split, you get the tier 8, so then you'll be ahead. Then when it gets to the tier 9, that is where one of the major problems is that Warships still has to this day via random bottles available for doubloons, aka gamble. That's literally what it is. So in order to get the tier 9, you have to gamble for it. Sadly. You may get lucky where it's the first thing that opens up. Hello! I did that with the Minnesota. I just like, what is this? The Minnesota popped up at the first. I was like, okay, I had the doubloons, grab it. You may get lucky in that one, or you may get unlucky and have it be the very last crate. And the Dansk, of course, at the end of the chain purchase, the chain block that they have at the very end, there's Dansk for at least 20 or 25,000 doubloons. We'll see how much it'll cost. That's usually how it goes. So pay, if you want the tier 10 early, pay $100. Or for good intents and purposes, wait at least a month or two and get it for free. Don't waste $100 on that. So that's the new ships coming out, and in response to it, they're updating the fjords, which should be nice. They're adding a tram system? Interesting. Not sure how I like this building, though. It's, not sure how I like that one, but here's your ship. And they got, yeah, a tram system. They're making it look futuristic. Way too futuristic. I don't recognize any of these designs. I have to research that myself. That's an, ooh, when do we get this camo? That's a beautiful camo. Yeah, that, I think it's gonna be, it's too gold. That's too gold. Oof. So, at least it's something different on there, but please leave my mountains alone. Leave the mountains and fjords alone. I usually choose fjords a bit. You'll sometimes see me on there. Right now I'm on Rotterdam. You'll see me on fjords just because I love the view of that landscape they did. The art department killed it with the mountain landscape. So, well, yeah, this, I don't know how about that building is, or how bright that is, but yeah. I can deal with it as long as you leave the mountains alone. And then the features. So what are the new ships going to do? Equipped with only HE shells? Starting from tier 8, the shells have flat trajectory ballistics? What? What? Okay. So we just went from Pan American that only has AP shells. The British light cruisers only has AP shells. And when they finally bring out the Spanish ships, they're most likely going to have AP shells only. Now we have one with only HE shells. Interesting. But the split... Hang on, the last three. The split, Katsonis, and Dansk are only going to have a flat trajectory ballistics. That, in turn, could be very bad, because now you can't hide behind a rock and shoot over them. You have to come out and expose yourself. So they have smoke generator, engine boost, and starting from tier 8, surveillance radar. Oh, God. Decent damage while staying back in a smoke screen. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Uh-oh. We're going to have... So that means... is added in a separate slot. Oh, no. Oh, no. If you do this, Warships, you have to put the Pan-Asian ones back. Oh my God. Seriously? They will, so the last three, Split, Kasjonas, and Dansk, are going to have smoke and radar and engine boost all in separate slots. You do not have to replace anything for it. They will have them both. That is extremely powerful. There's a reason why people wanted the blackback, despite the fact that its torpedoes suck. It's the fact that it had radar and smoke. And then we have a few other ships that have radar smoke, and they're so overpowered. That made them so ridiculously overpowered against other destroyers. It's why on the Pan-Asian ships, they nerfed them to prevent them from having that. The Pan-Asian ships used to have that. They used to have smoke generator and radar at the same time. Then they basically say, no, you can only have one or the other, you can't have both. Because it was so powerful. despite the fact it was justified for them to have that, because the why is that going off? Are you hearing double? No, that's okay. So that's just something weird with my mic. I might be hearing wind. I need to get a windbreaker for it. Apologies for that. But no, for the Pan Asians, it used to be a balance that they were able to go after DDs because they couldn't torp the DDs. So that's why they did that. It ended up being too powerful because they were just wiping out the DDs because I can still see you because I'm in smoke and you're under radar and you can't see me. So they nerfed it. Now they're doing it with these? Honestly, Warships, why are you backtracking on decisions you've made? You nerfed the Pan Asians because it's so powerful. Now you're bringing out new European ships that have this. It's just a plain point example of power creep. It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. I'm trying to see why my mic's going crazy. Apologies. I think it's my headset interfering with it. I'll leave it. Yeah, it seems to be better if I leave it on the side, so I'll leave it on the side for now. But why do you backtrack on your decisions? That's just bad. That's poor. Now you're going to have literally the aspect of why you nerfed it to all of a sudden why you're backtracking on what you're doing. That is just absolutely just mind-boggling. So, yeah, other DDs are going to be outclassed by these. That's sad. Next up is the return of Convoy, which I've never done Convoy myself. I probably should, but it's just they don't really give any rewards for Convoy, and that's the problem. I don't play it. I stopped doing ranked because of that same reason. There's no rewards out of it other than steal. So it's like, why should I do that? Why? So, but now they added it to the Haven map. Bot behavior has been updated. General rules remain the same. One has to escort a transfer ship, and the other has to attack them. So, I mean, it's a different playstyle, which would be great. I would love it if they just did it as not a separate match, but more like incorporated into the random battles. Like you have World of Tanks, where you just, oh, here's a random regular match. Then you have Encounter, one capture point, or you have Assault. It's you have to attack, and one has to defend. That's exactly what this is. One has to attack, one has to defend, with the convoy reaching its destination. Add this to random. Stop making this separate. Add it to random battle. There's no reason for me to actually come and participate in it because there's not worthy rewards. Just like Brawls, which we'll get into later down. Now the Pan American Cruisers. So here's where it says when 12.4 goes live, the Pan American Cruisers will become available for all players. So depending where you're at, which I am on the tier 6 by the way, I now have to work, that's the next line, I now have to include with the other 4 lines I'm still working on. I've reset the Zao line and I still have the sublines to work on. Now here's the 5th line, so now I got 5 lines to work on. While I'm also trying to get credits to get the other tier 10s that I'm still getting. Oh my god, this is why they need to slow down. I mean, it wouldn't be too bad if I played ships as much as I did tanks, but this is just, you're just getting ridiculous. We just finished the Pan American Cruiser Early Access, now we're getting destroyers. What's next? We get destroyers, and all of a sudden we get convoy ships. It's like, oh god, just slow down. So, I don't need to go through everything about what they do and what they are. We've all seen it here for the last 2 months, and now we can get them for free. Only sad thing is I won't get that camo. I mean, they do nice, beautiful camos. They just lock it behind a $200 paywall. They need to stop doing that. Dockyard! So Dyson will continue. So if you haven't finished it, don't worry. You'll still keep going and you'll still get Dyson. It's going on for at least another month. I, on the other hand, have to catch up. I am at least a week behind. So I have to catch up on getting Dyson. Because apparently Dyson's really strong. So yeah, I need to catch up on it. So we'll read in your report. So phases obtain a main reward, and when it ends, we'll remain in your port until update 12.5. So this will stay in the port. When the missions are done, you haven't completed, you didn't have to buy the rest, but it'll stay there until 12.5. Battle Pass. So here's the new Battle Pass coming up. So as I said before, new update brings new Battle Pass, more rewards, which everything in it's the same rewards. It's the end rewards that are changing, which this time we'll get the tier 8 split as the final reward. You can use these tokens in European Access Premium. That's what it is. The Premium Battle Pass will deliver even more valuable rewards. So it is the Premium Battle Pass only to get split. Which, to be honest, for how many Battle Pass points you get, and if you play daily and complete it every single time, you will not have enough to even get to the final reward. That's kind of sad. Tanks has it where you'll get it no matter what, because it doesn't matter if you have the premium or not. The requirements to get the points to complete Battle Pass is the same universally. They don't add anything extra. This does, because if you get the premium, you get an extra weekly bonus challenge, which gives you 5 Battle Pass stages. Whereas earlier, it's, oh, here's this weekly one that only gives you 3, and then a daily gives you 1. So you get 10 per week. And last I checked, these don't last 5 weeks. That's kind of sad. That's, like I said, I have my whole point with Battle Pass. I have a whole video if you want to know more about my opinions on it. Just go find that video, and you'll see more about it. So, but yeah, Battle Pass, Premium Battle Pass only will get you the split. Repeated battle entry with the same ship. What is this? Repeated battle entry. Introduces a new mechanic that allows players to enter a new battle with the ship that was destroyed in the previous battle without waiting for it to end. Oh. And you'll be able to enter a new battle after your ship has been sunk from the port or from exit menu of the previous battle. The new mechanics won't apply to clan battles. If you enter a new battle when the previous one is still going, you can use the ship even if you don't have enough credits for post-battle service. The cost of it will be tallied up until the player enters the port after ending all of the battles. There you'll find information about the results of all previous battles on the current ship. After that, you won't be able to enter a new battle with the ship until you pay the full cost of the post-battle service. So, if anyone wants to know what this means, if you have played War Thunder, that's exactly what it is. So, War Thunder, you were able to go into the match, and if you lose all your things, you can go back into the garage. You'll get some stats and bonus that comes up, but you can go into tank again before that match is over. You can go directly back in. That's exactly what this is. That's exactly what it is. You don't have to wait for it to come out of match. You can go straight back into it again. For a battle, you'll get a notification following cases undistributed skill points. Prime time battle type has ended. You've run out of economic bonuses. Blah blah. There it is. Battle on. You don't have to wait. I have it's kind of mixed feelings for me on that one. I mean, honestly, I don't think we need that for already how fast they make all these players get all the way up to tier 10 and still not even done 500 battles. It's already way too fast. Let's make it even faster. That's what it seems like to me. I mean, it's nice that we don't have to wait for a long time to use it again. Like if you're like me with the 5 lines I'm doing, or like the submarine, I'm trying to get the tier 8s to tier 10s now. Oh, I don't have to wait, just go to the next one. Oh, I don't have to wait, go to the next one. I don't have to wait, go to the next one. I can stay on it until I finish it. But again, already with how fast it goes, why have it? With already how fast you have it to get the tier 10s, why have it? So, I think that's going to be more harm than done. We already are having problems with subpar below average players reaching tier 10 at astonishing rates. Let's make it to where they'll even break the record to where they'll get it within like 5 hours. That's just, no. I don't think this is needed in the game worship. This is definitely not needed in the game, especially when you still have other problems in the game you need to address. So this to me was just a waste of time and resources that they could have done to improve the game. Instead, they just wasted their time to subparly make the game worse. So, way to go. Just not focus your problems and focus on some random crap. Update notifications. Notifications section. It includes 3 permanent blocks now. Battle results, inventory, and other. The 1 temporary block will display notifications related to the game updates. We've added a new type of message. Emergency messages, which include administration notifications, information about server reboots, technical works, and other similar events. Oh, so what does that mean? Okay. That's normal. Wait, why'd I go to the 4th one? Server restart. Okay, so they're going to announce this when the server's going to restart now, so they're just like, oh no, we're just going to restart it now. Click. Okay, so you got battle. Looks like abundant benefits earned. course, that's still normal, but right here, this is what they're changing. That, and bundle received. I think that's the only main thing. The rest of these are already in it. I think that's the main thing they're changing. Like, what's that? Is that reward you got throughout your outcome? That'd be something. I would like for them to do statistics like World of Tanks does, like your WTR statistics and performance you've done for the day or your session, or like with your tanks. That they should mimic that. They need to stop being the problem child. Oops, I closed it out. Let's get back to it. So, not much changes here. Armory. What are they doing in the armory now? Legato. No, not hat. It's a fish. As I just found out, I thought, why do we name a sub after a cat? I thought we were all after fish, and my chat schooled me on it. I was like, oh, I didn't know that existed. So this submarine is going to be coming out permanently for the armory, and it's going to be available for steel. So say hello to the first steel submarine, and it's going to be available for 28,000 steel. So it's going to be pretty pricey. About an average for tier 10s, especially the destroyers. 20,000, I think that's how much the Austin was, or was it 24,000? Somewhere around there. So yeah, now unfortunately now there is a steel submarine, and you know how it is with all the steel ships. Almost all the steel ships are far superior than their tier 10 adversaries, or counterparts in this case. If you get the Shikishima, they're much more powerful ships available as steel. Now there's a submarine. We've already had an aircraft carrier. That's the FDR. FDR's been forgotten. It's still a very powerful aircraft carrier. It's so dumb. And people just forgot about it. Because the Malta came in, and Malta's really good. So now I haven't fought Agato yet. I think it's because they weren't allowed to play it, except for super testers, but I haven't seen a super tester in it. I am afraid of what this will do. Definitely looks like the period of a World War II submarine when they started sleeking the design. But another good thing to do on the armory, so the Aegir, Azuma, Groningen, and Hayate, the free experience ships, they're the last ones, and they're going to get removed, but they're going to be added into the coal ships, so they're not going to be gone forever. You're going to be able to still get them, especially now that I've played the Aegir again. I took the spider webs off it. Aegir is actually really good. Of all four of these, Aegir is the best out of all of them. They're not super powerful, they're not super strong, but they're nice tier 9 ships to have, and they're premium ships. So that's good to have. Aegir's strong. It's got 305s on it, and decent, very good secondaries for a cruiser. Zuma is one you have to be careful of, especially since there's an Al Azuma, which is Azerlane Azuma. Azuma, you have to stay in the back and use long range. It's got 310s, which I'm like, okay, that would be better, but don't let that fool you. You're not going to pen much. You're better firing your HEs and staying at long range, because you are a floating citadel in this. Groningen, if anyone's, I'm sure many of you have fought the Groningen or its sister ship, the Friesland. Or Friesland as people go, but I call it the Freeland. They're exactly the same thing. Groningen was only introduced because they finally added the Dutch line, but they did not want to switch the Freeland over. So they added its sister ship, the Groningen. Those of us who still have the Freeland, congratulations, we have the Freeland. You can't get that anymore, which is sad. Now, these are destroyers with no torpedoes and a very large detectability range, like 6.3. That's pretty big for this tier. But they have very good smoke, a very powerful hydro, and those are auto-reloaded firing mechanisms of, what are they, 152s? 150, 152s? They set ships on fire. They're annoying. They don't do a lot of damage, but they just set you on fire, and they will not stop. They're always annoying. If you don't deal with them, they're very annoying. Very good ship to have, very fun, just very different playstyle amongst all other destroyers in the game. They're the only ones that are unique to it. And then lastly, the Hayate, the misunderstood destroyer, in my opinion. Reason is because what the Hayate, everyone says the Hayate sucks. The You think it's great in guns? The Harugamo, the gum bubble gums, yay! No, the Harugamo is better at firing. Yes, true. The Harugamo is better at firing. The Hayate has better detectability by like 0.1, 0.2 kilometers. I think it's 0.2. And if you think, oh, but use it as a torp boat. No, the Shikishima is the pure torp boat. Yeah, that's true. So what's the Hayate? Hayate has guns better than the I just forgot his name. Shimakaze. It has torpedo. It's got better guns than the Shimakaze, but better torps than the Harugamo. So what does that tell you? Hayate is the in-between destroyer of the other two. So Harugamo and Shimakaze are the opposite spectrums of the Japanese destroyers. You have a torp boat and a gunboat. Hayate is in between. It's got fairly decent guns that are better than Shimakaze, better fire rate. Same caliber though, but better fire rate. And then torpedoes that it's got two of them that go faster and further than Harugamo. So there you go with Harugamo. Harugamo has a reload booster, but this doesn't need a reload booster. I think it does. I have to look at it. But to me, that's how I've done Hayate. I looked at it as it's an in-between destroyer compared to what the other two do. And I looked at it that way, and that's what made it to where I can play the Hayate in that manner and done very successful with it. Many of you have probably seen me play the Hayate quite a bit with my friends Wookie and the gang, and yeah, I take the Hayate and they're like, it's a terrible ship, and here I am. I ended up getting Kraken the first time I played it. I was like, terrible ship, sure. That's what everyone believes. Hayate, don't underestimate Hayate. Everyone says it's a bad destroyer. It is not. You have to understand it's an in-between of the other two destroyers. But nicely, they're going to be coal, so you can still get them. They're not going to go anyway anytime soon. It just means that instead of having the free experience as a currency to get them to save your coal, you now have to spend more coal to get them. So yeah, that's kind of one downside about it. So Gato, I have no idea how it is. I hope to God it's not overpowered and become the next FDR steel ship. Oh God. Clan battles, yep, they're not. Clan battles is not returning. We basically, I'm not going to go through this. This is just returning 6VC format of tier 8 and 9 ships. So that's good. They don't have to do 10 and 11s because those were bad. But again, it's the same thing. They're just returning with a different format. Brawls, unfortunately, so it's coming May 26th and it's June 5th. So this weekend until June 5th. So about a week. Brawl 1, and then Brawl 2 afterwards, Brawl 3. So 6v6 tier 10s, 4v4 tier 6s, and 4v4 tier 7s. I just don't do brawls. There's smaller formats, and there's a lot where it could be fun, especially with some ships. Just being able to do what they do. So like 6v6, Gross Curfers can now do it because now there's 6 less guns looking at it. So that's nice. But there's just not a whole lot of rewards for me to do brawls. That's the unfortunate thing. And with them allowing divisions of up to 6, so the whole team can be a division, it just ends up being clan battles. That's the issue I have with brawls. I can't do brawls. So there's nothing rewarding, especially the amount of agony, the amount of matches you have to do to get the end goal, which is only like, what, 10, 20,000 coal, is insane. It's literally you getting on brawls and doing nothing else and hope brawls doesn't go into in recess or suspended until a curfew until it comes up again. I don't like brawls. Now here's one that I found that's really funny. Popeye. Dude. Popeye the Sailor Man. I was wondering whether they were going to get him in the game. Yes, Popeye and his nemesis Bluto are commanders. I just can't believe it. So they've been added to the game as well as their commemorative flags and special permanent camouflage, but unfortunately only for the USS Colorado. Well, put on something else. Colorado's already got enough. Thankfully you can switch these guys. It's just the camo is only on Colorado. I don't know how you can handle that, just seeing his face everywhere. I hope... Does it say it's like a special current front? Nope. I think it would be hilarious if the horn changes and just goes doot doot. If it does that, I'll go for the camo. But yeah, they got Popeye the Sailor Man and Bluto in the game now. So I wonder if it took them long enough. So that's funny. That's coming up. They got their own individual voiceovers too. Details of the events will be released later. So it's an event to get them. So be prepared for that. Now, content additions and changes. This one was interesting. I had to look at. So Armory sequential bundles have been changed. You can now purchase all or several bundles at once. The appearance of sequential bundles has been updated. And then the stock hull for Richelieu has been replaced with a new one, created on the basis of the researchable hull with a changed composition for the anti-air guns. Thus, when the new hull A is installed, the ship can't use the fighter and spotting aircraft consumables. So it's a complete change of everything. So change of composition, change of the anti-air guns. 357-273-77 damage per second, hit probability, and range. They didn't add a comparison, so I can't tell if it's a buff or nerf. I can't tell. But considering how you're losing the fighter and spotting aircraft consumable on Hull A, and Hull B gives it to you, that's a nerf already in its own. And if they're doing this to Richelieu, I guarantee you they're going to do it to other ships. Where now when you upgrade to the next hull, you're going to get another consumable needed for it. I guarantee you they're going to do it to a lot of ships now, and it's going to be even more money, more consumables, which if they do that, that would help slow down the process of people getting to tier 10 in less than 500 matches. So that would be a way to start if they do that, but we'll see how it goes. Richelieu's the first one they're doing because it was different when it was first made. And we'll see where it goes from there. Other than that, it's just different anti-air, no fighter or spotting aircraft consumable until you upgrade to the next hull. Then they're adding a new ship, the Kleber CLR. Exactly the same as Kleber, but with a different, unique appearance. Commemorative flag, colorful regatta, and dragon boat. That looks nice. That looks amazing. But for the love of God, Wargaming, why can't you just add the camo to it? That's all it is. Like the Lima ships. That's all it is. So why'd you have to add in a whole brand new ship called the Kleber CLR when it's just a Kleber with a camo? They always do that. They always do that. It's a brand new ship. No, it's just, it has a camo on it, like the Black Series ship. It's just a camo. Don't know why they can't just make it to permanent camouflage. It would save them a lot of time and resources and money and storage space if they just did that. Not make an entirely brand new ship that's taking up all these resources. And you have to get it through these containers. No, it didn't say anything about the containers. Just that A is there. Okay, so here we go. Achievements for the upcoming clan battle seasons have been added. There's the Dragon Patch, there's the Kleber flag. But just why? Just make it a camo. Number of doubloons, days of premium count. This is super containers, by the way. Changes to containers, super containers. Number of doubloons, days of premium count, some other resources, as well as the chances of getting ships have been decreased. Standard, daily, and try your luck containers will fill the super container progress bar twice as fast. You'll be able to obtain twice as many super containers or twice as often in regular sites that drop them. Contents of all super containers and players' accounts will be automatically updated. So if you already have the super containers, they're going to change. So that means, like, if my good old buddy Wookie, who has, what, over 100 super containers, he's going to get way less doubloons, way less premium counts, and way less chance. He doesn't need the ships, he already has them all. But all that's going to get decreased. He's going to get a shitload of signals and economic resources. That's it, economic bonuses. That's just... It's like, but we made it to where you get it twice as much. But what's the point of a super container now if you're nerfing all those things? The ships is already ridiculously low to get. Now you're making it towards a 1% chance, almost a guaranteed no chance to get them. And the super containers is the last containers to get certain ships like the Giulio Cesare. It is the last container to get it. They are not putting it back in the Christmas containers. I'm guessing it's because people went and opened it and they got the Giulio Cesare and they're like, oh god, we need to stop them from getting that, or the Jean Bart or the Smolensk. It's like, we need to stop them from getting that. Why? Why make it to where those who already have it have the benefit and the advantage of beating all these matches when you won't give anyone else the chance for it? Now you're really giving no one else a chance for it. I don't care if it's twice as fast. It's already low enough as it is to get the super container. Twice as fast is not going to do much. That's just sad. They did not like it when people were getting stuff for free. Typical World of Warships behavior. Like here it is. Each super container includes. Like that's what it is. It has now been reduced. If you already have all the ships the super container can drop, you receive 1,500 doubloons instead. That's kind of unfair because some of the tier 10s are well over 30,000 doubloons. But I mean, coal's now 10%, steel 1%, research 1, doubloons now 4. And it wasn't doubloons 10% as well? Oh my god, they've reduced them all. Special 7%, 15, 1.65? Signals is 3%. Tier 5 through 6.82%. Tier 8 through 9.15%. Tier 10 or rare 0.03%. 0.03%. Thankfully, those rules fall where if you do pull a ship out of that, and you already have it, they're going to cycle through the list to see which one you don't have and give it to you. But 0.03% for the tier 10 or rare ship, so there goes your Smolensk chances. Or the Jean Bart. There goes those chances. You're never going to get them unless you have all the others. So, and they made it even lower. It was 2% chance for a ship to be pulled, and then of the 2% chance, it was a percentage of which one it was going to be. Now it's literally, you literally do not have a chance. Less than 1% chance now for a ship. Now it's not open 100 containers and you get a ship. Now open 200 containers and you most likely will still not get a ship. That is just pitiful wargaming. That is so pitiful of you and typical of you. They hate giving stuff out for free. They really do. They hate giving it out for free. And it shows. Now there's Steam super container contents. Exactly the same. For those of you who do Steam. Exactly the same. Now there's French destroyer containers. Contents for the squadron container, which you can get 1% chance of these ships. 15 4, 25 10, 1, and you always get a camo in it. And then for the premium, that increases the ships to 10%. The rest looks the same. Let me see, 15, 4, 25. The free experience goes down. The premium's gone. So you don't get a premium premium day. But still 15%, that drops to 20%, that stays at 10, and that increases to 10. So it definitely increases your chance of a ship. Instead of 1%, it's now 10%. Oh, what do 10%? If I go for this, I would get Tuyon, Gascon, and Baron, because I don't have those, but... The Soviet era container has all these with basically 39.5. So same thing, the credits will now, even though you get more credits, they'll drop. Instead of 39 and a half, it's 23. 10%, that's only 6.25 though. From 0.5% to 6.25, that's even worse. But at least there's still some in here. Chkalov, Borodino, Moskva is in it. Okay. And Nostroshimi, so there's a way to say cool. There you go. Mikhail Kutuzov, there you go. There's a rare ship in it. There's a rare ship in this container. Gremyashi. Interesting. That is very interesting. So, Borodino you can still get. Moskva and Nostroshimi are coal ships. Kutuzov has been only in containers. I don't know if they're... I haven't been paying attention. Of all these ships here, this is the sad thing, of all these ships here, I only have Moskva and Nostroshimi. So, ouch. But that's still a way too low percent chance. And unlike the tanks containers, this is pure gambling. This is pure gambling. But I mean, Gremyashi, that is a rare destroyer. You never see that anymore. You need to, well, at least they have a mercy rule. If you open 40, you get one. Still, that's way too much. Firepower premium container. New ships have been added. Firepower premium. Oh, that's that one with the giant turret on top. The Tromp Molton Alvaro de Bazan are in it. Well, that's a waste. They're coal ships. Oh well, at least you can save yourself 2.5 quarter of a million coal. Distant Voyages, which is basically the camos. Enlightenment for Tuyon, Orca for Huron, White Swan for Rio de Janeiro. These are all camos, so those are special ones, rare ones. Oh wow. Really? Oh, you're kidding. Okay, oh, so unique ones. So you have rare ones, and what I noticed: Dawn Harmony for Shimanto, Industrial for Hawk, Johnson Atoll for Sam, and Newfoundland for the U-190. Legend of the Oceans for Enhalt, Liberation for Cherbourg, Seven Seas for Sinop, Endrak, and Mahon, if you didn't get those. What I'm pointing out here is the Dawn Harmony, Industrial, and the 2 DDs. Those were the camos available in the early access. Now they're throwing them in the Distant Voyages premium container. Now for the higher tiers, they're right down here. I got, like I say, like I have Shimanto, or and I have Cherbourg's Liberation for Cherbourg. Cherbourg. God, I can't. Forgive me, I can't pronounce it. But I have these two. I have these two, the Shimanto and the Shares. But I did not get the 9 or 10s because I'm not paying $200 for paywall. They threw them right here. Unique. There's Takahashi and Yodos, and there's Marseille and Brest. And the same thing with Industrial, because I did not pursue those. I hated these camos. But there's Hawk, Duncan, and St. Vincent. And then if for anyone who missed the special cool looking camo for black, it's right here. But again, it's unique. So these were added, and no, those aren't the only commandos in it. There's a whole lot more, like all the camos for all ships that you can't get anymore are in it. Like Notre Dame, or the special one for Bismarck that makes you look like Notre Dame. That's in here. So, and it's not showing me the drop percentage. I don't know what the drop percentage is for, but these were just added. I mean, it's nice to know that I can have a chance of getting these ones, because these look nice. But why put it behind a container you can never get? So, oh, don't forget your free gift of just 1 day of premium account. I'm basically saying, hey, we're going to be down, here's your premium to pay it back for. So that's what they're adding to the containers. Don't know why they're doing a brand new Kleber, just added as a camo. Game balances. Japanese Tier 6 aircraft carrier Ryujo. An issue that allowed a ship to use AA defenses in some cases without being spotted. Detection range from the air was increased from 6.4 to 6.8. Oh, so its anti-air defenses were further than its camo rating, so they just nerfed it. And then the commander's eye in the sky skill has been changed. A 50% penalty on spotting aircraft duration has been removed. What? 50% penalty on spotting aircraft duration has been removed. Huh. Okay. And then other changes. So basically they just fixed a whole bunch of issues. Damage from high caliber AP shells. Oh, increased damage from high caliber AP shells. Okay. And a whole bunch of fixes. If you want to go that, that's out of it. So that's essentially it for the update that's coming on of what's going on in 12.4 this week. So already some good interest things. I mean, already a bad thing that they're doing another early access. I'll have to do a whole video on it and explain everything about it and why it's bad, in my opinion. Convoy is back, which I think they should just make Convoy as a regular random battle mode, but we'll see. Pan Americans is not being released. The Dockyard will still continue. A new battle pass comes for, if you get the premium, you'll get the split if you finish it. Change of this, which, again, nice if you're grinding a line like where I'm at. I got 5 lines left, but for brand new players, just makes it to where they can get a ship in less than 100 matches. Or it's even worse. Oh god, I just realized it's even worse with the bots. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god. That's going to make it far worse with the bots. Now they'll never be stopped. Why? Why? They cannot be stopped no more. Oh god. Why add that? Nothing really interesting with updated notifications. Changes to the armies are somewhat good. Of course, Gata's being released, and then the other free experience ships are now Cole. Climb Battles is back. Brawls is back. Still interested. Popeye the Sailor Man. Let me know if you're waiting for that one. I still can't handle that camo though. I just see his face everywhere. Oh god, it'd be even worse if he shoots his face in the frowns. Oh god, that'd be worse. Additional changes to that. It's let me know what you. God. This one ain't bad, but let me know what you think about the containers. Are the changes to containers worse than what I said about? Yeah, Warships does not like giving stuff for free. Let me know down in the comments what you think about all this stuff here that's going on. Game balance changes, sub changes, all the changes. Let me know. So let me know what you think. 12.4. Let me know about the goods that you think is going to happen. Let me know about the bads that's going to happen. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you hated it. Due to my mispronunciation of Cherbourg, which I still can't pronounce. And let me know what you think. And if you haven't done already, hit that subscribe button to find more videos and contents like this. And hopefully, if you decide to find me on stream occasionally, which is random at this point due to my business and my job, just go find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/BloodasNight. Give me a follow there just to keep an eye on what I'm on. So thank you all so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments. And until then, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.